This living room is massively overdue a deep clean, and it's one of those situations where it looks clean from far away and then you look a little bit closer. It's disgusting. And I'm going to blame the 2-week Easter holiday, because I'm sure kids develop a second and third stomach during the school holidays, and all my children have done is eat. And did I have the energy to confine eating to the kitchen? Absolutely not. Have I cleaned up food and crumbs from this floor every single day of the Easter holidays? Yes, I have. And it looks like I've done absolutely nothing. What can I say? My 3-year-old has a very particular skill, and that's making as much mess in the shortest amount of time possible. So there's crumbs in every single corner of this room, chocolate handprints on the walls, there's sticky bits on the floor. But they're back at school now, and deep cleaning every inch of this room is my new priority. So we're going to start by hoovering this rug, and then we're going to move it out of the room. I had about 3 hours to get as much done as I could. Would have been 6, but I was so excited to have the house to myself again. I'm going to be honest, I sat on the settee scrolling my phone watching Bridgerton and savouring a meal that I didn't have to share. But I finally managed to motivate myself, and I still got a good amount done. Because I had so much I wanted to do, I kind of just picked an area and ran with it. And today I thought, I am sick of looking at crumbs underneath the telly stand. The hoover doesn't fit under there, so you can only reach a certain amount before you have to actually pull the telly stand out. And if you know me, which I think you do by now, I avoid actually pulling things out at all costs. It's a character flaw that I do need to work on, but maybe that's a 2026 thing. I just imagine tasks will be worse than they actually turn out to be, and anything with wires and remembering where everything goes is very off-putting to me. So I started off by cleaning the top of the unit with some sift cleaner, which is not the best idea when you're cleaning wood as it's abrasive. I only realised this after the fact though. I was using it to try and get rid of all the sticky bits. Ike likes to stand in front of the TV and put his food on the stand, so there was layers and layers of stickiness to get rid of. Here's what the colour of the water looked like after the first sponge rinse. I think part of it was me actually pulling up the varnish or whatever was used on the wood, because once everything dried it genuinely looked like I'd sanded the table. But it's alright because I had this kind of beeswax stuff that I varnished it with afterwards, and it looked fine after that. Next I went in with some tweezers into the crevices, and you will not believe the amount of gunk that came out of this. Both revolting and satisfying in equal measures, I think. I know I probably should have done this sooner, but when you spend so much time picking up around the house, I think sometimes it's easy to forget or not really notice some of the things that need cleaning until it's glaringly obvious. And you can't get more glaring than this, it literally looks like old earwax. I must admit though, I was disappointed when there was nothing left to scrape out of there. Here's a glimpse of all my findings. I'm going to eat that later. Joking. I hate that I have to explain I'm joking, but everything can be taken literally here. Anyway, next I braved actually pulling out the stand, and it wasn't actually as bad as I was expecting. Just a few toys and a bit of dust, we can sort that no problem. The only thing I found stressful was all of the wires, so I did my best to just clean around them. Because one thing I was not doing today was pulling all the wires out of the backs of Sky and Wi-Fi boxes and then trying to figure out which one went back in where. The floor was even sticky here, so someone had obviously spilled a drink under the TV stand and not told me. To be fair to my kids, when they spill something, they'll immediately get a tea towel to mop it up. But of course, they're only kids, so it still leaves a sticky residue. And then I'll usually find it later on that day when I've stepped in it and my foot pulls up like an octopus tentacle. Please tell me you know exactly what sound I'm referring to there. But yes, that is a common occurrence in our house. Leaning over the stand and cleaning in the most awkward way here so you can actually see what's going on and not just my big head. It felt almost impossible to get good camera angles here, but I did my best. I usually film with 2 tripods and 2 iPhones, one in horizontal and one in vertical, because obviously I have channels on different platforms, but I really couldn't be bothered to try and figure out how to do that today. I swear the Easter holidays have made me complacent. I can't be bothered. You know when you just get to that point of overstimulation, when the kids have been demanding snacks all day and arguing and squeaking over ridiculous things like one looked at the other funny, and you get to the point where you're just like, yep, have chocolate for breakfast, I can't be bothered to argue. I do think the school holidays are a time to just let loose and be feral though. There is way less structure here. We don't really do bedtimes, within reason. But one of the consequences of that is all my routine falls out of the window too. So we all have to kind of adjust back into routine together as a family. Wouldn't have it any other way though, we have a fab time. But I'm also always very relieved when things go back to normal. Look at all the fingerprints on this telly. I'm using a damp microfiber cloth to try and get rid of them all, because you're not really meant to use cleaning products on a flat screen telly. And you're also not meant to use much pressure, so I did as best I could, and it looked better than it did before, so I'm going to take that. I think there's a specific cleaning solution you can get for it, so I'll have to invest in some of that. Anyway, dried it with another microfiber cloth and plonked it back on the stand. And then I got to work on removing some of the million stickers that have been stuck around this room. And then I felt really guilty because Ike came home later and realised they were all missing and asked where they were. I'm pretty lenient around the house. I have the philosophy that they're only so small once. And I let them stick stickers in their bedroom and on some of the doors, but I draw the line at the telly stand. Now I'm cleaning with this yellow cloth, of which I have multiple, and I just wanted to show that, because in another recent video people were like, you've cleaned the toilet and the sides with the same cloth. No, I didn't. Now I'm going to be really lazy and just dust on the top of the consoles. And this is what it's looking like now. So much better. Now I'm just going to have a quick whiz round and wipe down before I have to collect the kids. And then I'll be revisiting this deep clean in a few days. I want to clean behind and underneath the settee, deep clean the floors and the blinds, shampoo the rug. It's going to be good. I imagine there'll be the same amount of crumbs when I come back to do more cleaning, but I'm not going to show you that because it's repetitive. But just know things become undone so fast in this house, and if that happens to you too, you're not alone. That's the beauty of having kids and pets, and it's okay. As long as you're trying to keep on top of it and you're trying to be a half-decent person to the people around you, you're good in my book. Just wanted to have a quick clean on the floor where all the food had been spilled. This vinyl has so many ridges that catch a load of dirt, so I can't wait to get the scrubbing brush on it. But I did just run out of time this time, and it is completely my own fault, and I don't regret it one bit. I had to take a picture of this tiny handprint before I wiped it off. I don't know why my heart does this to me, but I feel like I'm wiping them away when I wipe away their handprints. It's like a moment in time that I'll never get back. They'll never be that small again. Anyway, pop the rug back down and the room looks exactly the same as it did before from far away. But we know it's lots better now, don't we? But yeah, we're done for today. Enjoy the rest of your day, and if you're in England, I hope you're enjoying the sun.